Hey guys, this is Jammin' Tea Books, and this is Cameron from the Am in Jam. So today, no, it's not going to be a book talk, I'm sorry. I've been reading, but I haven't found a book. Well, I have books that I want to talk about, but I haven't wanted to talk about it. Instead, because my books are being wasted away on my bookshelf, I have decided to take up what Jessica did a couple of days ago and did the questionnaire thing. See how well I know my books. I haven't read many of them in many years, but I reread some of them multiple times, and there are some books where I haven't even touched. I can't even tell you how many. We get started, I guess. So there are 28 questions that Jessica talked about, and she had gotten those questions from Jessie the Reader. So I guess this is just a continuation of that. And I got my bookshelf here. I only got one. Sorry, not as impressive as Jessica's double bookshelves that she has in her room. I have 5 shelves here and then another shelf on this extra bookshelf here that I can't show you because I'm in a corner. And then I pulled up dice on my iPad so that I can just roll and I pick a book from the shelf. I hope this goes well. Oh, I think you win if you got 18 questions right, then you win. I guess it's not a competition, I hope. Number 1. Without looking up at the description, tell us what the book is about. 117. I have to get up. Oh, okay. So my first shelf is just Cassandra Clare books. This is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare, and I haven't read this book in many years. I mean, it's the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments series. I know that City of Glass. City of Glass, they go to the city. They go to the Shadowhunter city. I know that the 3rd book kind of ends on an arc. This book begins on a different. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm saying. Jace, the main character, one of the main characters, has nightmares. he has nightmares about killing his girlfriend. That's all I remember. Okay, so when Jace begins to pull away from Clary without explaining why, she is forced to delve into the heart of a mystery whose solution reveals her worst nightmare. Okay, yeah, so Jace and Clary split. No, they don't split. They have relationship issues. That happens when you dream about killing your significant other. I'm gonna count that as a point. Number 2, without looking it up, what is the genre of this book? 410. The Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is fantasy. I know this is fantasy because it's witches. You got witches. This is fantasy, like fantasy romance. I think it's not necessarily like a romance novel, but it's heavily romantic stuff in here. It is contemporary fantasy and a romance novel. Okay, so yeah, romance and fantasy. There you go. So number 3, without looking at the book, tell us what is on the cover. 6-3. This is Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I think it's just a girl on the cover with the garden behind her. I think that was pretty much the standard art for this book. It wasn't really original. It's just her and then the garden. Hey, yeah. Number 4, without looking it up, what is the main character's name? 311. Okay, so we have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stig. I've watched the movies. I haven't. This is one of the books that's just been sitting on my shelves for many months. Haven't picked it up yet. But I think it's Lisbeth. I'm pretty sure it's just Lisbeth. Because I remember thinking that was such an interesting name. I haven't heard of Lisbeth. So I think it's just Lisbeth. Yeah, Lisbeth Salander. Number 5. Without Looking, name a side character. 4-8. We have Breaking Dawn by Stephenie Meyer. Do you count the whole Cullen family as side characters? I mean, it was just, this book was heavily just Bella, and then Jacob had his own point of views, and then Edward. So I think you can just do, like, I can just go with the werewolves. There was Sam. He was the leader of the werewolf clan. So there you go. They showed up. 6. How many pages? Guess how many pages the book has without looking. If you guess 25 or 25 above the number, you can count it as a win. 2-8. 1. You have Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This is a pretty thick dude, but don't be fooled, because she does thin pages, so there's actually a lot more pages than you think it is. I'm pretty sure this is like 600, at least 600, if not 650. I think I'm gonna go 630. 660. Oh, that's just under. I could have gotten it. Oh, dang. 5 pages short. I have 6 to. I can't count. I have 5 to 1. 7. Without looking it up, what rating did you give this book? If you land on a book you haven't read, pick a new set of numbers. 4-11. Okay, so that's another Deborah Harkness book. This is Times Convert. This is the 4th one. And I know for a fact that I gave this 3 stars because this is one of the books that I read recently. So I remember, it's fresh in my mind. It's a 3. I liked it. It's not anything special. Without looking, where does this book take place? This is number 8. 3-7. This is Escape from Houdini. They're in the ocean. This takes place on a ship. So if you asking me geographically, I can't tell you. They're on their way to America. They're in the Atlantic. I think that's a suffice answer. I don't know the name of the ship. They're floating on water. That's Escape from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco. No, Maniscalco. How do you, what? Carrie Maniscalco. Okay. Number 9. Without looking, what are the parents' names? Not a lot of these characters have parents. Okay. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. They don't have first names. It's Mr. and Mrs. Bennet. That's their parents. The parents are alive and well. Number 10. Without looking at the hardback, what color is the book under the dust jacket? 4-15. 15. This is Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. This is the 3rd book to the Miss Peregrine series. Okay, I don't think I've ever looked into this jacket. I think I just I don't take jackets off. It could be black. I want to say because it's very monotoned and monochromatic, so I would assume it would just be black. Oh no. No, it's turquoise. But that's cool. Oh, these are the character names. Good to know. Without looking, is there anything on the hardback, like an imprint or an image of some sort? 6-1. Oh, okay. So we have the Jane Austen collection. This is like the 4 of her classic novels all in one. This is This is probably one of my biggest books. Not as big as Cassie Clare's books, but close. I don't think I looked into the hardcover of this. I don't look into hardcovers. I don't think there is anything on here. I think it's just normal. No, yeah. There's nothing on the hardcover. Cool. Nada. Without taking the dust jacket off, what is the color of the font on the hardback? Oh. We got a hardback. And it's this big boy. This is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I've taken this one off, I know, because I didn't want to mess up the cover. I think it's just standard black. Yeah, because whatever the material is of this hardback covers for her books, these last couple books, it would rub off on my hand when I would take the jackets off, and it ended up being black. So, but yeah, beautiful cover. Without looking, do the chapters have titles or are they just numbered? 2 to 3. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. She doesn't have chapter titles. I don't think so. Yeah, it's just numbered. Just like chapter 3. 14. Without looking at the book cover, does it have an award on it? I know a couple of my books have it. I don't think. We're just taking out all of the Dark Artifice books, but this is Lady Midnight. Yeah, I don't think she has awards for her books yet. Yeah, no. 15. Without looking, does this book have any author blurbs on the front cover? Okay, so this is A Walk, Two Moons by Creech. It just says Creech on here. I don't think there is any blurbs or anything on here. I think she has a medal. I think this is a book she got an award for. I think that's just it. I don't think there's any like blurbs on the front. No. Yeah, okay, so Sharon Creech. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, she just got an award for it. There's no like blurb. 16. Without looking, does the book have a description on the back? Yes. Okay. Yes, it does. I didn't look. I promise I didn't look. I just know this book so well. I reread it all the time. Sarah J. Maas, she does like little quotes on the backs. I know that. Like she'll have a quote that's like significant for the book. So I think yeah. I keep losing the number. I think that was 16. 17. Without looking, does this book have an author photo? 212. So, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I don't think she has one. At least not for the paperbacks. I'm gonna say no. Yeah, they don't really do photos or stuff for paperbacks. Yeah, there's no photos. Without looking it up, is this author using a pen name? I do not know. I can tell you now. I can't. I would think they would or wouldn't. I don't think they do. This is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I think Cassandra Clare is a pen name. I think I remember somewhere that was a pen name. I'm gonna go with on a whim saying that Cassandra Clare is a pen name, but I don't know. I think Wesley Chu is just a regular name, so I think Cassandra Clare is her pen name, and then Wesley Chu is a regular. So I think one is a pen name, one is a regular name. So without peeking, what POV is this book written in? First or third? We found one. We found another not so rare book I have not read yet. This is The Power of Six by Pittacus Lore. I'm pretty sure that's a pen name. Pittacus Lore. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean. I don't think I've ever realized his name before. This is the second book in the I Am Number 4 series. I have kind of started I Am Number 4, but that's it. I've only got through the first couple chapters. So if I can recall, if he hadn't drastically changed his point of views in the last 2 books, I want to say it's in third person. Yeah, okay, we're good. This looks like it's in third. Without looking, are there any pictures or graphics in this book? 4-4. Hold on. Oh no. This is another one I have yet to read, so I could not tell you 100% sure that this does not have any pictures or graphics in this book. But this is the 4th book of the Vampire Academy books. This is Blood Promise by Richelle Mead. I've read the other 3. I just kind of dropped out of vampire lore when I read The Mortal Instruments, and then I kind of just gone on this whole other arc of fantasy. But I think this has no pictures because I don't think that the first 3 books had any pictures. I think it was just pretty standard. But yeah. No, it doesn't look like it has any graphics. So I was right. Without looking, does it have an epilogue? Oh god. Okay, so this is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 5th book to that Throne of Glass series. I think this was the one with the mean epilogue. I know this does, because it's not a nice one. It's painful. I don't like recalling it. Hold on, I thought it did. Huh. Okay, no, it did not have an epilogue, or at least it did not have a epilogue, like this said epilogue on the front or whatever. I just know that it ended badly for some people. I think I'm confusing it with like a cliffhanger, but no, this did not technically have an epilogue. Without looking, does this book have a prologue? Yes. If you really don't know, I don't know what what rock you've been living under, and where can I find it? This is the first book of the Twilight series by Stephenie Meyer, and I know this one has a prologue because I was obsessed with this series when I was in middle school, and I always thought that her prologue was like killer. Calls it like preface. It's not even like, it doesn't say prologue, but this is technically the prologue. Without looking, is this book signed? Or I know a couple of them have signatures. I don't. 515. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I don't think this is signed. Didn't get this signed, and it usually says like a little, this book is signed on the front. No. Yeah, this ain't signed. I do have one that is signed that I'm really proud of. This one is the one I signed. I got her signature. It was cool. Without looking, do the page numbers have a design above or below them, or none at all? That is super specific. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I don't think I've ever opened up this edition. I read it again. This is another book that I read many, many years ago. I got it because it had a pretty cover, and I know I read it, so I didn't have to actually read it. I just like, ooh, look at these. They sounded so pretty on my bookshelf. I want to say no. No, yeah. Nothing fancy. Without looking, do the chapter headers have designs on them? Okay, so this is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I think these have titles. but I don't think there's any like really nice designs on them. I may have been very wrong. Interesting. I don't remember it, but okay, so it does have very intricate designs on them. It's a whole page. The chapters each had like this really large, just like this really nice design on them. I can't believe I forgot. Okay, so like each specific chapter has a little, so okay, I was right and wrong, yes and no. They have like a whole page dedicated to telling you that this is chapter 2. But then the next page, it actually tells you. I don't think I put that together when I first read it, but that's my bad. Without looking, are the acknowledgments in the front or the back of the book? Would they have them in the front? I don't think I've ever read a book with one in the front. Okay. So we have classic horror stories, which doesn't have a specific author. It's just many authors who decided to write spooky stories. And, oh yeah, here. So, all these bad boys. I just like collecting Barnes & Noble's editions, if you couldn't tell. I think it has acknowledgments in the back, but I don't think there's any in the front. So I haven't actually finished this book. I've been reading 1 or 2. But yeah, we only have biographical notes and original sources. But yeah, that's acknowledgement enough. So that was in the back. So, without looking, what year was this book published? Oh boy. So The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I read this book in the 7th. This was another book I read in the 7th grade. 7th grade was a good book year that I actually enjoyed. We read a lot. We didn't read much in 8th grade. So 7th grade for me, that was 2012, I want to say. Like 2011, 2012, and this book has already been out. Maybe mid-2000s, like 2008, 2009. I'm gonna say 2009. Oh, 2005. Whoops. Without looking, what year did you read this book? Can't even remember what I had for lunch last week. It was City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. Oh no. I read The Mortal Instruments in middle school. I read more books in middle school than I did high school. I think I read the first book fall of 7th grade, and then I kind of waited a few months until I picked up City of Ash. I think I read this in 2013. Yeah, City of Heavenly Fire came out in 2014 because I read that at the end of 8th grade, and I was kind of catching up. I used the summer until the end of 7th grade to read all those books, and then there was like a big gap. Yeah, 2013. Okay, that's it. I think I did good. I think I only got like 3 of them I got wrong, and then the rest were pretty good. 4. Whoops. Yeah, I'll have to look back and see which ones I did wrong and right. But I think I won. It wasn't a competition, but I think I won. Thank you for watching this uneventful, you watching Cameron struggle. But I think it went well. I think this went better than I expected. I really thought it's been a measure, been an interesting ride. So please subscribe down below, and I'll put the link to those questions and stuff if you want to do your own questions. All right, bye.